It's Monday. It's start of a new week. Happy Monday. Happy new week. Well, Buddha of Destiny Namaste is here. She's here early. Hello, my friend. How are you? Says good morning, Yogi. Still in bed. To my doctor at 10 a.m. Got to leave at 9. Um, well, I'll be thinking about you when you make your way to your doctor's today, my friend. Sending prayers your way. My cat's here making some noise. Um, there we go. So, I'm going to continue with the Course in Miracles. Probably for this foreseeable future, making some, shifts, some detours, maybe even some U-turns along the way. The reason being is, I've mentioned my own story with, of course, how I discovered it in the 90s. Actually, I read about it probably in the late 80s, and it played um, a theme throughout my life without me actually ever picking up the book. I always knew there was something for me. Finally, in the early 90s, I got my own copy that I still have. I started studying it. I put it aside. I started studying it and put it aside um, for a long time, for a very long time, until 2008. So we're talking over maybe 15 years or more of diving in and diving right back out. Let's see, Amir's here. Says, good morning, Sir Yogi. How are you? Sir, I'm good, Mir. How are you? Finally, 2008. Um, Even though I had received great benefit from meditation and yoga, breath work, life was pretty difficult. Intuitively, I felt this is the time I need to dive into a course. And I did for the entirety of the year 365 lessons, um, reading the text, practicing and practicing and practicing. When I reached the end, Goga says, bless you, Eric. Bless you, my friend. Goga, I appreciate you being here. It's an honor indeed, my friend. Mir says, I'm good, sir. Awesome, Mir. I look forward to seeing your live streams today. So, the mistake I made after my completion of A Course in Miracles was believing I was done. I was cooked. I did the entirety of the practice. I dove into one of the most, what is often seen as one of the most difficult spiritual texts there is. What more did I need? Well, what I needed was to continue. What I needed was to be where what's the saying, where the rubber meets the road, and practice and practice and practice. Because that's life. Life is a practice. Shiri says, hi, hello, my friend. How are you? Mir says, yes, sir. You're just coming back from walk, then I start. Nice. I'll be going out in just a few minutes. Well, a little bit more than a few minutes, but not too far. So, um, it's not that I put the Course in Miracles aside. It was still a presence in my life, but I was, it didn't play the central theme. It's still there. And my meditation, my yoga always stayed the same. It's been a constant in my life. Um, However, again, intuitively, I got the feeling that it was time to pick it up again and not just read through it, but make it my entirety, my life, along with yoga, along with meditation. By right, I could just say yoga, because yoga is the path of meditation. All right, let's get started on the course. Introduction. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you need to get further than the introduction. It tells you everything you need to know if you can see it, if you can feel it, if you can live it. So here it is. It starts right off, right to the point. Hello, my friend Jace. Poop howdy to you, my friend. This is A Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It only means that you can elect what you want to take at any given time. The Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Man, I come back to this. I come back to it every day. The introduction. There's probably 1,200 and more words in Course in Miracles, and I always come back to the introduction. Especially does the Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. And then it says, almost contradicting, that it aims at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is our natural inheritance. Bacon says, howdy, hello my friend. Says, what's going on? We're just talking. I'm reading the introduction to A Course in Miracles, and then we'll just chat about whatever for a few minutes. Like every great spiritual text, from the Tao Te Ching to the Bhagavad Gita, even the Bible, it offers paradox. And here's another one. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. So what they're saying is the opposite of love is fear, but it's an illusion. Anything that is not love is an illusion, which is why so many great spiritual traditions say we live in an illusory world. The concept of Maya, Lila, God's play. The difference here is the Course is telling us that we are projecting our fear outwards to create the world that we live in. And if we want a better world, we don't go about it by trying to change the world. We go about it by trying to change how we perceive the world. So we go directly to our fear and we forgive it. We forgive everything we project. We forgive our perceptions, and the world changes. Which is why it says, what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. So when we see that there's no opposite to love, and that what we perceive to be the opposite is simply an illusion, we live in a world of love. Wolfpack says, hello, first-time viewer. Well, hello, my friend. I love that channel name, Wolfpack. And Vamps is here. Hi there, lovely people. Hi there, lovely Vamps. So the Course, the entirety, 1,200 plus words, can be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. If we were to say that the only reality is God, God's love, God's existence, then anything that isn't of God is an illusion, doesn't exist. Nothing unreal exists. If we say centered in the reality of God, if we say centered in the reality of love, we see through the illusion. Does that mean we no longer live in the illusion? No, because we haven't quite woken up. It means that we get to create a better dream. And we create a better dream by letting go of that which we are projecting and extending ourselves as love. The Course says we have two voices in our head. We have the voice of fear, the voice of the ego, which is always wrong, always causing us to live our life in a fear-based reality, seeming reality, an illusion. And we have the voice of love, which is always right. And love only asks of us one thing, to extend itself, to extend ourselves as love. And we do that through forgiving, through healing, through allowing, through letting go of grievances, letting go of resentments, letting go of any kind of judgment. Those are the things that keep us separate. If I am to judge you, that means you are separate from me. If you are separate from me, that means we don't come from the same source. How can we? So we forgive that and we see ourselves united. This is why Ramana Maharshi, when he was asked, how do we treat others, smiled and said, there are no others. Simple as that. There are no others. So every moment in our life, what voice are we going to listen to? The voice of fear or the voice of love? Are we going to listen to the ego, or are we going to listen to what the Course says is the voice of the Holy Spirit, or the voice of Jesus, or the voice of God? Course doesn't make distinctions between those. So, all right, that's it. Course of Miracles. Let's move on to, how are you guys? How is everyone today? How's your Monday starting out? How are you, Vamps? Wolfpack says, just subbed. I'd like, P.S. Love the fact that you sound very educated. Well, thank you, my friend. HGFVH, I wish I knew how to pronounce that. Says, hey, bro, where are you from? I am from Eastern United States, Maryland, on the East Coast. Beautiful little state. How about you guys? Graves says, do you know Dina? I do not know Dina. But hey, you want to introduce me to him? Let's see. HGFVH says, brother, show your muscles, I mean your biceps. Nobody wants to see my biceps. No one wants to see a 59-year-old man flex. However, I do have my workout videos. Let's see, Wolfpack says, Oregon, such a beautiful state. Home of Ken Kesey, who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Sometimes the Great Notion. Two of my favorite books. Let's see, HG says, how much money you make from YouTube, like in dollars? Well, I just got monetized in June. So we're talking 2 months now. Just got my second payday from YouTube. The first one was a little bit of May and then all of June. So it was a little bit more. Right now, it's been about $100 a month. It's not a bad start. I hope to increase. I've mentioned before, this is what I'm hoping to do. To talk. Talk about the things that I'm passionate about. Talk about the things that I love. And share it with people. Sharing nature videos that I love to do. Live streams and then little talks on the psychology and philosophy of yoga. I do practice the asanas, but that's not and I have forever since I was a kid, but it's not what I teach. I teach how asanas are an aspect of the path of yoga. Goka-san says, hi Eric, how are you? Goka, good, how are you? Wolfpack says, what places have you visited outside the US? Not a whole lot, just Canada. Been to Canada quite a few times, absolutely love Canada. Vamp says, sorry I had a phone call. That's okay. So because I have a house that's paid for, I have a car that's paid for, through no effort of my own, I inherited it from my father. I split the differences with my brother. I'm in a position, I don't need a whole lot. Just enough. I don't want a whole lot. Just enough. I want to, enough to pay my bills, buy some groceries. I live very inexpensively. Maybe buy an occasional book, and I'm happy. So if I can manage that, if I can get my income from YouTube to 1,000 to 1,200 a month, which isn't a ton. I think it's doable. We'll see. Um, I'm good. I'm good to go, guys. Can you do that through the means of your own creativity? That's the question. That's what I don't know. And that's what I'm endeavoring to find out through the means of the words that are given to me, hopefully, occasionally, every once in a while, inspired. Um, and whatever I find in nature, whatever the universe, whatever God shows me when I take my walks in the morning, um, can you earn an income doing that? We're always taught we got to go out and strive and strive and strive. We got to make a fortune. We have to be better. The whole infinite means of self improvement. The self that I am right now isn't good enough, so I need to improve it. However, the self that you think you are right now is part of the illusion. You let go of that and you realize everything you need has been given to you by God, given to you through the grace, not through your striving. It seems that way. Every time we feel that we got to keep getting more and more and more, and has it ever worked for any of us? Think of the people who've gotten more. Think of all the great musicians, the great actors, the great writers who never seem happy. And then think of the people who live simply by faith and love, simply in their connection to their essential self, the connection to God, the connection to the universe, to the Tao, and how happy they are. So I can't say I'm striving for that. What I'm doing is what the Course says. I'm removing all the seemingly obstacles that stand between me and that connection. Each day, I find myself more and more connected. Our friend Runnaboy is here. Runnaboy, how are you? So a better thing is to ask, can I remove the clouds of my perception and live a life of love and forgiveness continuously? And here's the answer. I don't know, but I'm going to try. Wolf says, I love Canada when I visited, but I think I enjoyed Germany a bit more. My ex-wife and present companion um, and stepdaughter both visited Germany quite a few times and absolutely loved it. And of course, we have great friends here from Germany, Optimum, Sabine, and Timo. Jay says, Eric, I will message you. You just made me think. And the light bulb illuminated. Awesome. Connection continues. Looking forward to hearing from it, Jace. Wolfpack says, but I guess it could be biased since I was working when I was in Germany. Yeah, but you know, just because you were working there doesn't mean you had to really love it. And the fact that you love it as you were working there, I think that means a lot. Runner Boy says, all good. Just did my benching. How'd the benching go? I think I asked you yesterday, are you in a down cycle? A deload week? Because I know you recently hit some PRs. The funny thing is, in the when I began deeply practicing yoga, which of course again means meditation and breath work, as well as the asanas, as well as practicing the ethical and personal observations, I was very comfortable, um, or I got very comfortable again talking about God. For a stretch of time after I left school and that little breach in my relationship, what felt like my relationship with God, I was very uncomfortable with it. And then on my yoga path, I became more comfortable with it. I had a few, let's say, non duality moments where I again became uncomfortable with expressing things in terms of God for a long time. However, it has been over the past couple of years that I am, again, not just comfortable, I feel a very intimate relationship now um, with the vocabulary of discussing the ineffable, that which cannot be told, God, as well as a deepening relationship with Jesus. Not the Jesus of social commentary, but the intuitive, mystical Jesus that resides in our heart, that is always, we could say, is the voice of love, that is always telling me to do the right thing. However, that doesn't always mean I do the right thing. It doesn't always mean that I listen to that voice. Um, Jane Roberts, who wrote the Seth material in the 70s, said that all of us, every day, every morning, will receive a wake up call from God between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., the holy time of the year, what in yogic terms would be Brahma Muhurtai, the hours of God. Holiest time of the day, it's because the veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest. Celtic mythology, they call it thin places. However, we get the alarm from God between 3 and 6, but we most generally hit the snooze button and we say, well, it's pretty early, God. I'll get back to you maybe around 9 a.m. And of course, we're busy at 9 a.m., so we never get back. And so goes our relationship. However, if we were to respond to that, even just put one foot on the floor and say, God, what would you have me do today? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? And then just listen. Just listen. One foot on the floor to show that you are aware and willing and awake. Ask those questions, say that prayer, and then, if you need to, go back to bed. Jay says, I've been very fortunate, live in the UK, but I've also lived in 5 countries, Germany, Iceland, Cyprus, and Scotland, and managed to visit most of Europe and Canada. Nice, Jace. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Night Watcher says, hey, Yogi, have you ever gone to Gravity Falls, Oregon? I have not. I like that name, though. Night Watcher says, hey, to Jace. Let's see, Wolfpack says, I was in Germany for about 5 years, driving semi-trucks for the Army. Got to see pretty much every corner of Germany. Nice. That's why Mocha was there. Her ex-husband, father of my stepchild, was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Germany. And he loved it, absolutely loved it. So my stepdaughter would spend the summers there with her father, and then Mocha would go pick her up right before school started. Pauline's here. Pauline, how are you, my friend? Jace says, Wolfpack, I was also a brother. I like my morning live streams. Seems like we always get just the right people here. Occasionally, someone who likes to mess around with us. I don't care. I'm all for messing around. I take what's given. You know? People show up. If I find I don't like what they have to say, it's a perfect opportunity. Why don't I like it? But can I still listen? Can I be open? And can I accept? I don't need to change everything. I don't need to reshape the world to my liking. I can shift my perception and say, what is this person offering? An opportunity to practice forgiveness, an opportunity to practice acceptance, an opportunity to deeply listen. What's behind the words? Jay says the ocean is fairly flat. Yeah, I would imagine so. Of course, the ocean floor um, has mountains, I believe, bigger than the Himalayas. I could be mistaken about that. Pauline says hello to Vamps. How are you? And Vamps has said hello to Pauline. Wolf says it was absolutely great. Loved getting off and treating myself to a nice beer. That's the place to do it. If you're gonna have a beer, Germany, Ireland, where else? You know what? Surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, um, it was surprising to me. Mexico makes really good beer. Of course, English beer is really good. So, just a minute. I'm gonna go wander outside, and wandering is the perfect word. I'm not going out in search of things. I'm going out to open to things. There's something happening. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is. I allow myself to be led to wherever it is. Reminds me of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, founder of Transcendental Meditation, when he wanted to buy a faculty, to open up his Maharishi University. Imagine buying an entire university. And he was asked, where's the money going to come from? Because you don't have it now. Where's it going to come from? And he just laughed and smiled. That's why he was called the giggling yogi, the giggling guru. And his answer was, from wherever it is right now. It's the secret to praying, secret to manifestation. You're not creating something. It's already in existence somewhere. You're just bringing it from nowhere to now here. It's the same thing. Imagine if I were to type that. Nowhere. What's the difference between nowhere and now here? Except for space. A little bit of space. Same letters. So, how do we pray? How do we manifest? The greatest prayer might just be, and this is something our friend Vamps is intimately familiar with, God's will, not ours. May I surrender. May I be led. That's why that morning prayer of, what would you have me do? God, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? I try to keep that in mind every time I do a live stream, which is all the time. You guys got to be sick of hearing me every single morning, every single afternoon, every single evening. Um, and I ask, and again, sometimes I block things out, not meaning to. A lifetime of habit of blocking out the voice of God, the voice of Spirit, our intuitive sense of who we are. But I like to show up before the live stream and say, okay, may the right people be here. May I say the right words at the right time. Now, what you said is, I'm sick of the same office every day. You want me to redecorate? I could put up new curtains. Let's see, there are the curtains that have probably been here since I was a kid. All right. So, guys, I'm going to head out. Very much appreciate everyone being here. I will see you in the afternoon. Jason, look forward to checking out your message. Night Watcher's laughing. Hey, you got the day off today. I forgot. Or you had the day off. It's a Hindu holiday. It's the birthday of Krishna. Hare Krishna, my friends. Ram says, thank you for the lovely live and chat. Thank you for contributing to making it lovely, my friend. It's only 3:30 though. For you. For me, it is 5:30 on the dot. It's time to get outside. I'm still an hour away from the sunrise because of the fluidity of time. Hey, Tito's Beth's home and life and cooking. Hello, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Are you guys connected with Tita? And if you're not, give me 1 second. Let me make it easier for you to connect. Excuse me, guys. Tita is a moderator. Click on the wrench. Make sure you subscribe. Support our friends. Nightwatcher says, good morning. Or I'm sorry, another great live. It is another great live, my friend. Thank you for joining. That's a sure sign that it is time to log off for the morning. Jason saying hi to Beth. Wolfpack says, good morning, have a great day. You too, my friend. Hey, thank you for joining. Goka says, hi, Eric, how are you? Goka, I'm doing good. It's bright and early for me. It is 5:30. I've been up for 3 hours. Done my breath work, my meditation, my coursework. I've done my yoga, and my writing. I love getting up in the morning. Eric says, or I'm sorry, Jay says, Eric, something bright today. I will be on the lookout. Thank you, Jace. Are you into Dragon Balls? I am not into Dragon Balls. Not only that, I don't know what they are. Wolfpack says, you have a schedule for streams? I do. I do a 5 a.m. live stream where I was reading from the Tao Te Ching for 81 days, and then I read from the Bhagavad Gita for 18 days, 18 chapters. And then now I'm reading from A Course in Miracles. I then do a live stream about 1 in the afternoon, Eastern time, and again at about 5:15, varying lengths of time. Nightwatcher says, and another live about 8 hours. Yep, absolutely. Nightwatcher says, yes, Wolfpack, right now daily. Another live about 8. Thank you, Nightwatcher. Nightwatcher's been hanging out for quite some time with me. To various degrees of boredom. Sometimes he gets pretty bored, other times just a little bit bored, and then sometimes he'll hang out for a couple weeks. I do not blame anyone for getting bored here. Nightwatcher feels tired. Well, you're not in school. Kick back. Take a nap. Wolfpack says, all right, thanks. I'll try to make it if I can. Thank you, Wolfpack. In the meantime, guys, are you connected to Wolfpack? Let's make some new friends. I just subscribed just to keep that connection. Nightwatcher says he gets bored because of me being a bumbling fool. You've never been bumbling and you've never been a fool. Just connected. Nice. Guys, make sure we connect with each other. Our friend Jace is at 874. We want to get him to 1K as soon as possible. I wonder how the night hours are Sorry. I wonder how the watch hours are for um, Optima. Hopefully later today we'll find out. Jace says, have a great day. You too, Jace. I'm going to see everyone later. All right, guys. Take care. Goldie, I'll be thinking of you. Have a great day at work, my friend. Uh, Night Watcher, I hope to see you later. Wolfpack, great connecting. Beth, thank you so much for being here. As well, our friend Mir and Pauline. Runaway was here. HG, we're going to leave it at HG, was here as well. Bacon was here. Goga, thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate you being here. Buddha was here. Buddha, I'll be thinking of you with your doctor's appointment. Blessings. Take care, my friends. Take care, guys.